Welcome to my channel. In this video, you will learn about stereochemistry of disubstituted cyclohexane, including relative stabilities and optical activities. Those are different disubstituted cyclohexanes: 1,1 disubstituted, 1,2 disubstituted, 1,3 disubstituted, and 1,4 disubstituted cyclohexane. As we all know, cyclohexane exists in different conformations. Out of that, chair conformation is most stable conformation of cyclohexane. So we look at the chair conformations of those different disubstituted cyclohexanes. So if we look at the 1,1 disubstituted cyclohexane having two different substituents X and Y, that X is supposed to be there at axial position, Y is at equatorial position. Now if you flip that conformation, you will get another conformation in which X, which is axial, goes to the equatorial, and Y, which is equatorial, goes to the axial position. So if you look at the stereochemistry point of view, your X substituent is above the plane, Y substituent is below the plane in both the conformations, before flipping and after flipping. So while flipping, there is no any change in stereochemistry of the molecule, only axial substituent goes to the equatorial position and equatorial substituent goes to the axial position. Similar the case for all other 1,2, 1,3 and 1,4 disubstituted cyclohexane. First we will look at the 1,1 disubstituted cyclohexane. So here X and Y, those are the substituents placed at carbon number 1 position. So because of that, it doesn't have any geometrical isomerism because both the substituents are there on same carbon. We can have two different conformations as we have already seen, and if you look at the optical activity of this 1,1 disubstituted cyclohexane, there is a plane of symmetry passing through carbon number 1 and carbon number 4, and therefore that molecule become optically inactive. Looking over to the 1,2 dimethyl cyclohexane, methyl group placed at carbon number 1 and carbon number 2 position with respect to each other, and because of that it has a geometrical isomerism, that is cis and trans. If you look at the position of methyls, here in cis conformation, your carbon number 1 methyl is at axial position, carbon number 2 methyl is at equatorial position, but both the methyls are pointing towards upward side, and therefore it is on the same side of the plane, and therefore it is cis. But if you look at the trans, your carbon number 1 methyl at axial, carbon number 2 also at axial, or carbon number 1 at equatorial and carbon number 2 also at equatorial. In both the cases, your 1 methyl is pointing towards upward direction and carbon number 2 methyl pointing towards the downward direction, and because of that it is supposed to be trans isomer. If you look at the relative stability of cis axial equatorial or equatorial axial 1,2 dimethyl cyclohexane, there is one axial methyl and one equatorial methyl in both the cases before flipping and after flipping. So that axial methyl shows two 1,3 diaxial interactions with carbon number 3 and carbon number 5 axial hydrogen. So one 1,3 diaxial interaction is corresponds to 0.9 kilocalorie per mole. Therefore, two 1,3 diaxial interactions leads to have 1.8 kilocalorie per mole. Also, there is one butane-Gauss interaction between carbon number 1 and carbon number 2 methyls, and therefore its energy is 0.9 kilocalorie, and the total energy goes to 2.7 kilocalorie per mole. So two 1,3-diaxial interactions, one butane-Gauss interaction, and the energy of this cis 1,2 axial equatorial or equatorial axial dimethyl cyclohexane is 2.7 kilocalorie per mole. If you look at the optical activity of this cis 1,2 dimethyl cyclohexane, either axial equatorial or equatorial axial form, there is no any plane of symmetry. Hence, we can say it is optically active. Also, if you draw the mirror images of this A and B, we'll get the C and D are the mirror images of the A and B. Those mirror images are non-superimposable with each other. Therefore, again we can say they are pair of enantiomer. But the molecule and its mirror image are readily interconvertible by flipping. Means if you flip A, we get the B, which is same as C conformation, and A is same as D conformation. If you want to realize the thing, you have to prepare a model of the molecule and then you have to rotate it by 120 degree along the horizontal axis. Then you will realize those molecules or those conformations having similarities. Therefore, they are called as a conformational enantiomers. And the stability of these conformations is same. They exist in equal proportion, and at room temperature it is very difficult to measure the optical activity as they are too rapidly interconvertible. Hence, we come to the conclusion that the molecule exists as non-resolvable racemic modification and it is optically inactive. With this, we switch over to the trans axial or equatorial 1,2 dimethyl cyclohexane. As a stability point of view, in diaxial conformation, two methyls placed at carbon number 1 and 2 position, both are at axial position. Therefore, every axial methyl having two 1,3 diaxial interactions. So therefore, there are 4 1,3 diaxial interactions corresponds to 2 axial methyls, and therefore the energy goes to 3.6 kilocalorie per mole. Whereas in trans equatorial conformation, there is only one butane-Gauss interactions, and hence the energy is 0.9 kilocalorie per mole. So we come to the conclusion that the trans equatorial conformation is supposed to be more stable conformation. If you look at the optical activity of trans axial or equatorial 1,2 dimethyl cyclohexane, there is again no any plane of symmetry, therefore it is optically active. And if you draw the mirror images, A and C are the non-superimposable mirror images of each other. Also, B and D are non-superimposable mirror images of each other, and they are enantiomers. While A and D or B and C are distereomers. Hence, trans 1,2 diequatorial or axial 1,2 dimethyl cyclohexane exist as pair of enantiomers. If you compare the relative stability of cis and trans 1,2 dimethyl cyclohexane, we have an observations that cis axial equatorial or equatorial axial 1,2 dimethyl cyclohexane energy is 2.7 kilocalorie per mole. Trans axial 1,2 dimethyl cyclohexane energy is 3.6 kilocalorie per mole, and trans equatorial 1,2 dimethyl cyclohexane energy is 0.9 kilocalorie per mole. So, trans equatorial 1,2 dimethyl cyclohexane is more stable than cis isomer by 1.8 kilocalorie per mole. This is the conclusion of the relative stability of cis and trans 1,2 dimethyl cyclohexane. As far optical activity is concerned, cis axial equatorial or equatorial axial 1,2 dimethyl cyclohexane is optically inactive, and trans axial or equatorial 1,2 dimethyl cyclohexane is optically active. Now we are going to have 1,3-dimethyl cyclohexane. Here methyl groups are placed at carbon number 1 and carbon number 3 position with respect to each other. As like 1,2-dimethyl cyclohexane, this 1,3-dimethyl cyclohexane also have geometrical isomers cis and trans. If you look at the cis axial or equatorial 1,3-dimethyl cyclohexane, the carbon number 1 and carbon number 3 methyl is placed at axial position in diaxial form. Every axial methyl supposed to have two 1,3 diaxial interactions. So there are total 4 1,3 diaxial interactions. So energy for that is 3.6 kilocalorie per mole. Along with that, carbon number 1 and carbon number 3 methyl has steric interactions with each other and it is having 1.8 kilocalorie per mole. So total energy of cis diaxial 1,3-dimethyl cyclohexane goes to 5.4 kilocalorie per mole. Whereas in cis equatorial conformation, there is no any 1,3 diaxial interactions as well as no butane-Gauss interaction, and therefore its energy is 0 kilocalorie per mole. So we can say this cis di-equatorial form is supposed to be more stable conformation of 1,3 dimethyl cyclohexane. If you look at the optical activity of cis axial or equatorial 1,3 dimethyl cyclohexane, in both the cases we have a plane of symmetry passing through carbon number 2 and carbon number 5 position. And because of that plane of symmetry, your molecule is separated into two similar halves and therefore it is optically inactive and supposed to be meso compound. In case of trans axial equatorial or equatorial axial 1,3 dimethyl cyclohexane, either before flipping or after flipping, in both the cases one methyl goes at axial position, so that axial methyl shows two 1,3 diaxial interactions with carbon number 3 and carbon number 5 axial hydrogen. So the energy goes to 1.8 kilocalorie per mole. If you look at the optical activity of trans axial equatorial or equatorial axial 1,3 dimethyl cyclohexane, there is no any plane of symmetry, so therefore it is optically active. If you write the mirror images of A and B, we get the C and D, and those A and C are the non-superimposable mirror images of each other. Also B and D are the non-superimposable mirror images of each other, and therefore they are exist as a pair of enantiomers. So trans axial equatorial or equatorial axial 1,3 dimethyl cyclohexane exist as a pair of enantiomers. Now if you compare the relative stability of 1,3 dimethyl cyclohexane, we have an observations that cis axial 1,3 dimethyl cyclohexane is having very high energy, 5.4 kilocalorie per mole, so it is very unstable. Cis equatorial 1,3 dimethyl cyclohexane is having 0 kilocalorie per mole, and trans axial equatorial or equatorial axial 1,3 dimethyl cyclohexane is energy is 1.8 kilocalorie per mole. So we come to the conclusion that cis equatorial 1,3 dimethyl cyclohexane is more stable than trans isomer. As far optical activity is concerned, cis axial or equatorial 1,3 dimethyl cyclohexane is optically inactive, and trans axial equatorial or equatorial axial 1,3 dimethyl cyclohexane is optically active. With this, we switch over to the last molecule, 1,4 dimethyl cyclohexane. In this case, methyl groups are at carbon number 1 and carbon number 4 with respect to each other. As like 1, 2 and 1, 3, these also going to have geometrical isomers cis and trans. If you look at the cis axial equatorial or equatorial axial 1,4 dimethyl cyclohexane, as a relative stability, your conformations before flipping and after flipping, in both the cases one methyl is at axial position, either in axial equatorial or equatorial axial in both the conformations. one methyl group is at axial position, and that axial methyl shows 2,1,3 diaxial interactions with carbon number 3 and carbon number 5 axial hydrogen, and therefore its energy goes to 1.8 kilocalorie per mole. If you look at the optical activity, there is a plane of symmetry passing through carbon number 1 and carbon number 4, either in axial equatorial or equatorial axial. In both the conformation of 1,4-dimethyl cyclohexane, there is a plane of symmetry passing through carbon number 1 and carbon number 4, and therefore it is optically inactive. So cis axial equatorial or equatorial axial 1,4-dimethyl cyclohexane is optically inactive. In case of trans axial axial or equatorial 1,4-dimethyl cyclohexane, the diaxial conformation having two methyl groups at axial position, so therefore there are total number of 4,1,3 diaxial interactions corresponds to 2 axial methyls, and therefore energy goes to 3.6 kilocalorie per mole, whereas in trans Di-equatorial conformation, there is no any butane-Gauss interaction as well as 1,3 diaxial interactions, and therefore its energy is 0 kilocalorie per mole. So we can say that your trans di-equatorial conformation is supposed to be more stable conformation of 1,4-dimethyl cyclohexane. If you look at the optical activity of trans axial or equatorial 1,4-dimethyl cyclohexane, in that case, we have again plane of symmetry passing through carbon number 1 and carbon number 4 position, as well as there is a center of symmetry with respect to the methyl groups and your cyclohexane ring, and therefore it is optically inactive compound. Here we have plane of symmetry as well as center of symmetry, and therefore it is optically inactive. If we compare the relative stability of cis and trans 1,4-dimethyl cyclohexane, we have an observations. Cis axial equatorial or equatorial axial 1,4-dimethyl cyclohexane, its energy is 1.8 kilocalorie per mole. Trans axial 1,4-dimethyl cyclohexane energy is 3.6 kilocalorie per mole, whereas trans di-equatorial 1,4-dimethyl cyclohexane having 0 kilocalorie per mole. So we conclude that here trans equatorial 1,4-dimethyl cyclohexane is more stable than cis isomer. Whereas optical activity is concerned, cis axial equatorial or equatorial axial 1,4-dimethyl cyclohexane is optically inactive as there is a plane of symmetry passing through C1 and C4. And in case of trans axial or equatorial 1,4-dimethyl cyclohexane, it is also optically inactive as there is a presence of plane of symmetry as well as center of symmetry, and therefore it is optically inactive. So that's what about the stereochemistry of disubstituted cyclohexane. We have learned about 1,1 disubstituted, 1,2 disubstituted, 1,3 disubstituted and 1,4 disubstituted cyclohexane. In case of 1,1 disubstituted, whether your substituents are similar or different, there is no point about substituents. Whether the substituents are similar or different, there is no any geometrical isomerism as well as optical isomerism. But in case of 1,2, 1,3 and 1,4 dimethyl cyclohexane or disubstituted cyclohexane, we have the presence of geometrical as well as optical isomerism. Thank you.